Your task, should you choose to accept it, is to discover what Jesus of Nazareth looked like. Some portray him in art or as a white Scandinavian. Some portray him as a black African, dark-eyed, dark-haired, dark-skinned African. Johnny and Clayton, who preached once in this pulpit, there's a tape in our classroom back here of John Clayton describing how he was an atheist and he became a Christian, how he was brought to be believing and obeying Christ. And John Clayton was a friend of Leo Rainey's, the late Leo Rainey's, our friend, brother here at Agnos for so many years. Johnny and Clayton says it was probably what any ancient Near Eastern Jewish man looked like. He probably just blended into a crowd easily, didn't look like anything. And Isaiah 53 sort of bears that out as well. He has no form or comeliness that we should desire him. There's nothing special about the way Jesus looked. That's not exactly what I'm saying here. We're worried about what Jesus looked like, and I was interested in it as well. We can find out what Jesus looked like when we see what he was or how the Bible describes him in the Scriptures. First of all, if we're looking for Jesus, we can look in the person of a refugee baby. In Matthew chapter 2, after Jesus was born, the wise men, the Magi, came and gave him gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And it says, when they were departed, Matthew 2, verse 13, when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared unto Joseph, Jesus' earthly father, saying, in a dream, saying, arise, take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night and departed into Egypt, and was there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, out of Egypt have I called my son. That's Hosea 11, verse 1. So you can see you can see Jesus in the person of a refugee baby, because he was one once. You could see Jesus in a homeless lodger, a homeless person who's lodging with someone else. In Mark chapter 1, verse 29, Jesus came to dwell in Capernaum. He was there in the house with Peter. He healed Peter's mother-in-law, and she rose after he healed her, and she was sick with a fever. She arose and served them, or served them. It says food or drink or whatever hospitality she might have there. Also, he stayed in Bethany later in his life toward the cross, time of the cross. Matthew 21:17 it says he would go home, he would preach in Jerusalem and go home to Bethany, cross the Jordan, and stay there with Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. You could see Jesus in the form of someone in raggedy clothes, someone that's hungry, a vagabond, a prisoner behind prison walls or prison bars, a patient sick at a hospital or in a hospice house. In Matthew chapter 25, Jesus tells us this clearly, that you can see him in those types of people, those individuals in society, our brothers and sisters in Adam. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divides the sheep from the goats. He will set the sheep on his right hand, and the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you took me in. Naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee a hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? Which one were you? They shall ask. Then shall the king answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as you did it, as you've done it unto the least of these, my brethren, you've done it unto me. I was in the person of that prisoner that you held. Who was in prison maybe for something that he or she didn't do, maybe for the gospel, my gospel. Those who were sick, and you took care of me, waited on me, stayed up late at night with me. I was that person. Then shall he say on those on his left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, and the everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. The same thing. You didn't. I was hungry, thirsty, stranger, naked, sick, in prison, and you never helped me. Then shall they answer, When did we see you this? We would have helped you. But he said, Inasmuch as you did it not unto the least of these, you did it not unto me, and these shall go into everlasting punishment. But the righteous who helped their fellow men and women, children, these shall go away into life eternal. And the same word there, the same adjective there for the punishment is this word, the adjective used for eternal life, as for the reward, that is life eternal, everlasting punishment. So I hope that these descriptions from the Scriptures will aid you in your search for what Jesus looks like. It looks like those people that need our help in the world. Have a good week.